What's up YouTube? This is Joe from Zephyr Wargames bringing you another archetype discussion of an upcoming archetype, and today's topic slash discussion slash video slash whatever you want to call this is going to be on the Troymares archetype. Now they are a new link archetype introduced within the Flames of Destruction coming up after Extreme Forces. And they're again one of those archetypes where Konami is linking them within like some form of big battle lore thing with the world legacies. So hence this beautiful young lady on the card art here. But I'm going to quickly run through this archetype because unfortunately we are late to bringing you this video. But I still wanted to bring it out because I think it's a really interesting archetype, and to anyone who's subscribed to us who hasn't heard of these or seen what they do, that's where I'm here to bring you into the light, you could say. So to start off with, the only main deck monster of this archetype, we have Troymares. I think that's how you pronounce it. I probably butchered that last name, but she is a Troymare because the Troymare name is listed within the name, so she is associated with the archetype. And what she is she's a level 2 Dark Cyberse with 0 attack and defense. And her effect is that when this card is normal summoned, you can target one link monster in your graveyard, special summon it linked to this card. So for example, you can't bring Decode Talker back with this monster because there's no way Decode Talker's markers that point up this way and this way to be brought back to the graveyard in the main monster zone where it can point to this, because he literally cannot point to her. One thing you can bring back though is something with diagonal arrows, no, that's literally diagonal arrows. That's literally left and right. So Honeybot, Proxy Dragon, stuff like that, Firewall Dragon, Borreload Dragon, things like of that nature. Their attacks become 0, also their effects are negated. You cannot special summon monsters except link monsters. If this card you control is sent to the graveyard by any means from anywhere, you can special summon this card to your opponent's field in defensive position. You can only use this effect of Troymares once per turn. So, the reason for her, to quickly say, is that you're going to be using her on your turn to bring something back and link up, as I call it. So you're going to bring back like a link 2 and then use those two to make a link 3. So on and so forth. A link 3, go up to a link 4. And then you're going to use her second ability, where you can special summon her to your opponent's field, and now once their turn begins, they are locked into only summoning link monsters. So unless they can quickly get rid of her and make a quick link, they're not going to be able to special summon anything. Which is a really nice effect, really nice card. Being Cyberse, she's searchable very easily within a Cyberse deck, and it's something I will personally be trying out in my own Cyberse deck. So that's the one main monster. Going into the plethora of links that this archetype has. So we first have Troymares Mermaid, a link 1 pointing down, 1000 attack, Fiend water. They're all fiends, by the way. So it only requires one Troymares monster except itself. If this card is link summoned, you can discard one card, special summon one Troymares monster from your deck. So you can instantly get Troymares. Then, if this card was co-linked with this effect, you can draw one card. You can only use this effect of Troymares Mermaid once per turn, and all monsters on the field lose 1000 attack and defense except co-link monsters. Every Troymares has this draw ability, where if it's co-linked and activates this effect, you get a draw. So they're all very consistent link monsters in terms of what they're going to actually provide to you if you can actually get them all co-linked. Next we have Troymares Phoenix. It just requires 2 monsters with different names, And for the rest of these Troymares, they all share that material requirement of just monsters with different names equal to the link markers. So it's also a Fiend with 1900 attack. If this card is link summoned, you can discard a card and target one spell or trap card your opponent controls, destroy it. Same co-linked effect of drawing a card. You can only use it once per turn, and your co-linked monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. And it points up and right. Next we have Troymare Goblin, link 2, Wind, Fiend, 1300 attack. Same requirements as Phoenix. If this card is link summoned, you can discard one card, apply this effect, and if this card was co-linked, when this effect's activated, you get to draw a card. Once applied, during your main phase this turn, you can normal summon one monster to your zone this card points to, in addition to your normal summon or set. You only gain this effect once per turn. Neither player can target your co-linked monsters with card effects. So this is what everyone's calling the Seraphonite for every deck, because feasibly every deck can summon this card, because every deck has at least 2 monsters with different names in their deck. And so if you can just literally discard a card, you can get an additional normal summon to a zone he points to, being left and right. It's very easily to get off, so this is going to be a very nice card for any linked deck. Next we have Troymares Cerberus, Earth Fiend. He points the exact opposite to Phoenix. Same materials. Get my words right. If this card is link summoned, you can discard one card, then target one special summon monster in your opponent's main monster zone, destroy it. Then if this card was co-linked, you get to draw a card. You can use it once per turn, and your co-linked monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects, so that's really good. Troymare Unicorn, a link 3 pointing down and sideways. 2+ monsters with different names. This means that you can use a link 2 and any monster as long as they're different names, and you can make this card. If this card is link summoned, you can discard a card, then target one card on the field, shuffle it into the deck. Then if this card was co-linked while this is activated, you get to draw a card. You can only use this effect Troymare Unicorn once per turn. While a co-linked Troymare monster or monsters is on the field, draw cards equal to the number of those monsters with different names instead of your 1 for your normal draw during your draw phase. So, to quickly go through that effect, so while a co-linked Troymare monsters or monsters is on the field, draw cards equal to the number of those monsters with different names. So if you have, let's say, this with 2 different named Troymares pointing to it, and they're all co-linked, during your turn you will get to draw 3 instead of 1 during your draw phase. That's really good for any link deck if they want to just splash a bunch of Troymares into their extra deck. Feasibly, you could probably play like a Cerberus, a Goblin, and Unicorn, and you can get that effect off, so it's really nice. Next we have the boss monster of the archetype, which is Troymare Griffin. Light Fiend with 2500 attack, link 4, pointing same as Firewall, up, down, left and right. 2+ monsters with different names, so again same summoning as Firewall except with the different names added. If this card is link summoned, you can discard one card and target one spell trap card in your graveyard, set it to your field, but it cannot be activated this turn. Then if this card was co-linked, you get to draw a card. You can only use the effect of Griffin once per turn. Special summoned monsters cannot activate their effects unless they are linked. That is amazingly strong. It gets back any spell or trap in your graveyard, which is a really powerful effect. If you've used that Regeki already in the game, you can then reset it, so unless they're going to wipe it, they have to fear Regeki next turn. You can set a really powerful trap. Just on the top of my head, because I was thinking about it today, you can set Sanctum once you've used it, so then during your opponent's turn, flip Sanctum, get a Scythe, and then you've locked them out the extra deck. Also, you can easily avoid this other ability of monsters have their effects negated unless they are linked. You can just simply summon Scythe to a zone it points to, and then Scythe still goes off. So this is a really powerful link monster. I can see it being splashed in multitude of link decks. Next is the only one field spell I just want to quickly run over, because it is technically a Troymares card, but it's also a World Legacy card, as they tend to do with these field spells in the archetype. So, World Legacy Nightmare. You take no battle damage from attacks involving co-linked monsters. Once per turn, you can activate one of these effects. Move a Troymare monster you control to another main monster zone, or switch the locations of 2 Troymares. So this is quite useful if you're going for a pure Troymare deck. You can possibly use this card just to, you know, set things in a way that you want them to be to get certain abilities off for a new link summon and all that. So it is a nice card. So final thoughts of this deck. I think it's going to be really strong, but I don't personally think it's going to be top tier. So the reason behind this is that it's really heavily combo based, and decks like that tend to be very easily stopped in current formats because of all the hand traps that we have, and that's a big problem for decks like this. To fully do well, you need to have your opponent having no hand traps. If your opponent has a max C, this deck is wrecked, because you can't do any of your big link plays, because you're just going to keep giving them draws. Well-timed Ghost Ogre could probably halt any of these plays, and things like that of nature. What I do think though that this archetype just generally does is helps generic link decks. So on top of my head, Cyverse can really use these cards probably. All of their monsters have different names. You never link summon something of 2 names in that deck. The extra deck is very open in terms of its current status, and you can probably splash any of these link monsters into that deck and really give it a good boost, especially this Griffin. So that's my personal thoughts of this archetype, but let us know what you think down in the comments below. We're always happy to see what your thoughts are, and who knows, let me know, do you think this is going to be top tier, do you think it's going to be support? Give us your thoughts, and we'll keep bringing you more discussions and reviews of archetypes and cards that have just come out. I'm going to be doing another video on the Altergeist deck just come out, because I think they're really good and a good buff to that deck, and could probably make them a good meta competitor. So stay tuned for that video coming up. So again, like, comment and subscribe, and until next time, as always, happy dueling.
What's up YouTube, Dan here from Zephyr Wargames, bringing you to a roundup of our week of giveaways. A very, very cool kind of giveaway to give for you guys. And like I said, all the links to the descriptions will be down below. And it's very, very easy to enter. Follow those instructions. You never know, you could win any of these. Very, very cool. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Best of luck. And until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling.